y'all, welcome to the House of Yumm, where today we are going to make a slow cooker beef barbacoa. This meat is so tender and is so juicy, and it is perfect for loading up on some street tacos. Before we start, I just want to say barbacoa actually refers to the method of cooking, not the actual meat itself. So today I'm using beef, but you could use another kind of meat if you would like. Historically, they would take the meat and bury it in the ground and cook it low and slow until it was able to easily shred. But since I'm not gonna go through the whole process of digging a hole in my yard to cook the meat, I'm gonna use the slow cooker. You would also traditionally find in Mexican foods that they use head meat, or more specifically cheek meat. And if you haven't had cheek meat before, it is probably the most tender beef that you can get. One note, if you are using cheek meat for this recipe, I would recommend getting more than you think you need, because there's so much fat that's in that cut of meat. So much of it is gonna render out that you will end up with a lot less meat than what you started with. Sometimes even half as much. So if you were to get a 2-pound roast, you might end up with about 1 pound of the actual meat. So today I'm using a chuck roast, which is a very easy to find cut at the market. The only things I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off some of the really hard pieces of fat, because that's not going to really do anything as it cooks. But you want to leave all of the pretty marbling in the meat, because we need this fat to stay in while it cooks. It's going to render, it's going to make the juices, and that's what's really going to make this meat tender. It's like a knocking sound when I hit it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this roast into large chunks. I'm gonna give it a quick sear, and then we'll be able to get it into the slow cooker. So, smooth like butter. Okay, so the meat is all chunked up. The meat is all chunked up. The meat is all chopped up, about 1-inch pieces, some bigger, some smaller. It doesn't matter, because it's all going in the slow cooker. So what we're gonna do though first is sear the meat. So voila. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of oil to the pan and let this heat up. So working in batches, going to add the meat. I'm gonna add the meat and let it get a sear. Want to try to sear all the sides. We're not cooking it all the way, so I'm not concerned about it getting fully cooked. I just want it to get nice and brown. Give it a little pinch of salt, a little bit of pepper, and keep on turning them while they cook. Get it nice and brown. Okay, now that the meat is seared on all the sides, I'm going to take it out and place it just directly into my slow cooker. And I'm just gonna continue working on the rest of the meat until all of it has been seared. Okay? Woo. Okay, the meat is all cooked. I have it in the slow cooker. The only things I'm going to add is a quartered onion. It was a really big onion. So this is half of an onion that I cut into thirds. So that's like a 6, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna add the onion. I'm gonna add in 3 garlic cloves. I have 1 tablespoon of salt. And I'm gonna add in 2 bay leaves. And that's all I'm adding. I told you guys this was just a handful of ingredients. I always have people ask me, aren't you gonna add some liquid? No, I'm not gonna add any liquid because you're gonna see as this cooks, it creates a lot of juice because of all that fat that's rendering out of the meat. It creates its own juice. Don't even worry about it. We're just gonna put the lid on. We're gonna cook this on low for 7 hours, okay? So, figure out my lid. Okay. And that's it. So the meat has been cooking about 7 hours now, and it's already completely fallen apart all on its own. I didn't have to shred it. It is juicy, tender, and it just falls apart. At this point, you can remove the bay leaves. And if you want to remove the large chunks of onion that are still in here, you can, or you can leave them in and dish them up with the meat. This meat is so tender, it is so flavorful, and it's perfect for making some tacos. Okay, so normally you'll see at taco shops that they double up on the tortilla. We're just gonna put some meat. Ooh. Lots of meat. And these tortillas are a little bigger than street taco size, which is fine by me. We'll put some onion, and there we go. And there you have it, slow cooker barbacoa. This recipe is so quick and easy. It's perfect for a weeknight meal. It comes together with only a handful of ingredients. The meat is so tender and juicy, and it's perfect in these tacos. And now it's time to try it. So excited. Oh, look at all that. It tastes just like my favorite taco shop.